Hello, hello, and happy Thursday. I hope you feel blessed and refreshed. I'm back with another one, and today I have a pre recorded live. So, first of all, I appreciate you for being subscribed to this channel, for joining me every morning for encouraging talks, or even coming back for the replay. And second of all, I have to apologize to you because I showed up on this past Monday, July 31st, and I had a lot of things going through my mind, a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. And my intention was to take a break after this week, after this topic of talking about mental health and social media and just getting it all out. I figured I would step away and give myself a break from morning talks just for a little bit. So it's funny because after I let you know that, after I presented that information, God shifted me. He shifted me very quickly, and I couldn't do anything but just, obey. I couldn't do anything but just be obedient and follow Him. So, with that being said, I was not able to show up Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm been led to make this video, and I just appreciate you listening. So, this right here will conclude this week of social media and mental health. And as soon as I am back 100%, as soon as God gives me direction, I'll be back. So I encourage you to, like I said, turn on your notification bells and stay encouraged by, listening to my playlist. There's a lot of different topics. Every week is a new topic. And I always like suggestions as well. So drop that in the comments. But mental health and social media is something that goes hand to hand because we don't realize how just scrolling the internet can hurt us. And today I'm going to talk about three tips that I use to protect my mental health. And I feel like every day it's a battle. I mean, we're imperfect, just trying to live. And when there's so many other things going on around us, it's a struggle. So, that's why it's important that we stay close to Christ and, lay all of our burdens on Him and just talk to Him and get that peace of mind that He's going to present to us. So, most of us, me myself, I'll be 37 this year. We're around the same age, and some of you might even be younger, and you might not remember the days without social media. I mean, I think the internet really just came about, what, 2010 or something like that. And I just feel like ever since then, there's no real connection to people in the real life. You watch YouTube or whatever social you watch, and you see pictures of people looking nice, and you see people and they're all organized and they're with their friends and such, and you might question yourself and say, "Oh man, why am I not happy like that? Or why am I not, you know, organized like that?" Or so on and so forth, and just start to compare ourselves. And, the bad thing about that is most of the time people are just putting on a show for the internet. Whether you see them vacationing or whether you see them with their children, you see maybe they're matching or they have this extravagant makeup or things like that. Most of the time, I mean, they have to get themselves ready for the day. They got to get dressed for the day. But who really shows who they really are throughout the day when we're actually going through something, when we might be a little down, or even when we're super excited about life and just joyous because God is who He is. Um, who actually shows that side of themselves? So when and then I'm going to shift just a little bit because I'm thinking about the fact that when we as adults, we have to tell our kids to get off of social media. You've had your time, and we have to limit them. Well, why don't we limit ourselves as well the same way? Um, Today's three tips. The first tip is that social media is not a representation of real life. And again, that just goes what I just said. We have to get dressed for the day. So most of the time, what you see is the best picture of the day, or the best hairdo, or the moment when the kids are acting the best. But you don't see the whining and the the toddlers temper tantrums, and you don't see the bigger picture. All you see is the good stuff. So just knowing that it's not a representation of real life is that those people, some of us we live in a moment, and some of us we want to capture every moment, and that's the difference. So I encourage you to just know that just because you see it on social media doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean that they couldn't be using a filter. It doesn't mean that they didn't take the time to get dressed that day. Maybe today they want to look nice and tomorrow they don't. I'm one of those type of people. But, I'd rather show up, the way that I am 100% all the time, and not just pretend so that I can fit in with social media, because it affects my mental health. Because then, what if one day I'm having a bad day and I fall off and I forget to put on my lashes, or I forget to brush my hair or whatever. And then I just hop on, and now I'm being talked about, right? Because I didn't show up how everybody thought I should be, how I presented myself to be. So the second tip is to be mindful of who you follow. And that's really important because, you know, not only public figures, but also people that we might meet along the way. Again, most of the time, these big YouTubers with they might have the cars, or they might be doing this and that. Most of the time, they have some type of opportunities in their life where they was given these things, or maybe they even worked hard for these things, and now they're successful in whatever they're doing, and they have so much money to put into investing to make their channel this or that, or to maybe Amazon or Walmart or different affiliates and things like that are reaching out to them, and that's how they're making their money. But it doesn't mean that you can just jump on YouTube and say, okay, I'm going to put this out and do this, and I'm just going to keep doing this, and try to be what they are and try to make so much money, because that's not what it's about. So if we're looking at people like that, then we're going to automatically feel less than, we're going to feel shameful, because we feel like we're inadequate. We feel like, oh man, am I not a good parent because my kid is not matching head to toe like that with the ribbons, and so on and so forth. No, it doesn't mean that, and it's actually going to hurt your confidence as well. So on the other side of that, though, being mindful of who you follow. You want to follow people who are inspirational, people who are showing what they really do, showing their real life. If they're cooking or whatever, we want to see you cook when you struggle. We want to see you cook on any given day. We don't want to just see when it's the weekend, you got paid and you about to go. Now you got steaks and everything like that. We want to see the real thing. So um, I encourage you to take away some of the subscriber or some of the subscriptions that you have to other people, because they could be detrimental to you. And the last tip is just to be mindful of your mood while you're scrolling the internet, because I mean, how many times have we been had a long day, and the kids have done this and that, and maybe the dog has tore up everything, and dinner was late, and you didn't feel like cleaning up the kitchen, your whole house is a mess. How many times have we just said, I'm just done, and just sat down, got on the internet, and just start scrolling, or start getting on people's lives, or start doing whatever on the internet, anything besides what we should be doing? So then once we get on there, we're like, oh wow, they have the best life, or it could be either way. It could be like, um, oh wow, well I bet they don't have to deal with a whining, screaming toddler right now. Oh, they look pretty happy. They're on vacation, and their kids look like they're doing a good job. Well, again, it's just for the camera, and it could go either way. If you're having a good day, then you might look at somebody's picture and be like, oh, they look so cute, or oh, they look so happy, or things like that. So it just really depends on the mood that you're in. Is really going to make a difference in the positive versus the negative emotions. Um, Being in the mood to scroll, I've gotten to the point, and that's where I come back to myself, where I have all these things that I want to talk about, and all these things that I'm bringing, but I also feel like there's so many changes and so much things going on in my house, not only in my house but in my life. And I feel like I feel like I'm breaking chains. I feel like there is a testimony coming. It is brewing. There's so much that I'm working on right now, and I just need time to step away. So, last but not least, we have to protect ourselves and our mental health with being self-aware and taking the first step to make ourselves feel anything besides anxious or fearful or angry and all those things. So ultimately, um, God is the ultimate provider. He is not only a provider as far as material things, but he's going to help ease your mind. He's going to help get you focused on things that you should be doing for you and your family and not for the internet. So that is it for today. And I pray that you have the best rest of your week and the best weekend. And don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. That's it. That's all. As always, remember, be true to yourself. Because if you can't be true to yourself, you can't be true to nobody else.